Hello YouTube, Mr. Evans here with my vlog number 104. Today is Friday and it is so late, YouTube. The time is currently 9:23, but I have a good reason for being here as late as I am. I didn't get started quite as early as I usually do. It was a hard day. Well, it wasn't even really that hard, but some of the moments in it that were hard moments were so hard that I was just like, I don't want to jump right into grading. So I decided to take a walk. And that is something I'll talk about a little bit later. But for right now, I want to talk about the wonder quote of the day. The wonder quote of the day is, if you ever feel lost, let your heart be your compass. And as beautiful as that is, sometimes you get even more lost than that. And that was how today felt a little bit to me. Not the entire time, but there were moments where I was like, I'm going to do what's in my heart. I'm going to do what I feel right now. And then that just didn't work, you know? Because honesty isn't everything, you know? Being real and being vulnerable and being open with the students it's a powerful tool, but it's not the be-all, end-all. I think that there's a very oversimplified view of who we should be as professionals and as people, where it's just like, just be true to yourself, follow your heart. But you need more than that. These students need more than that. And that's one of the reasons that we sometimes struggle with what I want to talk about today, which is achievement versus effort. Which of these things do you recognize? It's really hard with students because, again, I want to follow my heart. If I see a student trying, even if they're not getting there, but they're really putting in effort, I want to praise the effort, you know? But then on the other hand, sometimes that can have a negative effect, right? Where it's like, if I'm going, okay, you're trying your best, good for you, but then they're still not getting there, does that feel to them like I'm saying, your best isn't good enough? Because there's that risk, you know? You're trying as hard as you can, good for you. But then they think, you know, some of them anyways might think, well, I know I'm trying as hard as I can, but I'm not accomplishing the thing that I'm supposed to be accomplishing. So what does that say about me? So there's a real fear of, you know, getting into a fixed mindset, or giving students a fixed mindset by talking that way. And yet at the same time, you know, when you see a student who their behavior or their academic performance is still not up to snuff, but it's way better than it was a month or two ago, you know, maybe it is most helpful to praise their effort because it's making a difference, you know, to be able to say, like, yes, you're not there yet, but you're really working at it, you know? And sometimes you're able to do both, to be able to say something like, I really appreciate your effort, so keep working at it. Don't give up, and you will achieve. Sometimes it's possible to do that, but for a lot of these students, you know, there's that short-sightedness. They don't see that they're on an upward trend. They see that they're not at the level yet. I think there's that fear, right? That it's like, I've got to put in all of this effort in order for me to make this achievement. That's ridiculous. I don't want to put in this effort. As opposed to what we wish students would see, I think, sometimes, which is, I've got to put in this effort at a level way lower than I'm trying to reach. And I've got to put in that much effort until this is no longer a hard level to reach. And then I have to put in more effort until this is no longer a hard level to reach. And slowly you make your way there. But it's also hard because the system tracks achievement, right? If you are putting in a lot of effort and you're really learning and you're really growing, but everybody around you is growing faster, or everybody else around you had an advantage, that's really tough too. And this is particularly hard with ELD because these students already compare themselves to non-ELD students so much. So, yeah, sometimes I do praise effort. I'll say things like, today was not our best day, but it was not our worst day, and I really appreciate you trying at least as hard as you did. I don't know, that may be kind of rolling over, just like, well, whatever, I'll take it. What does that tell them? Does that tell them, oh, okay, I'll just do this every time because Mr. Evans will tolerate it? I hope not, but it might. The thing that's tough about it, though, is I feel like to truly move the needle, you can't do it alone. I think that's something I want to talk a little bit more about on a future vlog, but suffice it to say that for right now, I think things would be better if I had more people to make these pushes with me. So I think that's something I'll talk about in a future vlog. I'm going to try to remember that. For right now, let me give you my 3 things that made me smile today. One of them is pretty much the same as yesterday. A student expressed some sympathy for me, or not really sympathy, but like empathy, concern. But first of all, not only was this not a student that I have, this isn't a student, I don't think I've ever even seen this student before. And this student knows nothing about what's going on in my classes or anything. The student yesterday knew what was bothering me. This student just saw me in the hallway and said, hey, Mr. Evans, are you okay? You look kind of stressed. And that was I'm so thankful that the student did that. I don't even know how he knew my name. But it was big for me partially because I think, there's that sense of community. He recognized me. He saw me as a teacher in this school rather than, oh yeah, he's not my teacher, so I don't care about him. So, I don't know, maybe my place in here is a little more cemented than I had thought. That's kind of nice. And then, of course, the concern itself was nice. I did some self-care today. I had a couple of tough moments. This is my second thing that made me smile. So I went to a local restaurant for lunch, and it was amazing. It made me smile. And it's also kind of, not even made me smile, it was just, it did. It made me smile a lot. I was like, this is really good. This is a positive point in my day. And also the fact that I was supporting a local business. It's nice. And I think the last thing was that I took a walk. Again, I just told myself in advance, I cannot jump right in. Well, I can jump right into grading, but then I'm just going to spend the entire rest of the night upset because I feel upset right now. So I'm going to take a walk, and I did. It was about a half an hour. I walked all the way down to a coffee shop, got some coffee, walked back. Just being out in the sun and in the nice brisk air felt really good. So that was good. Those were the 3 things that made me smile, but I forgot that there was one I was going to say instead of where I got lunch. The Super Bowl was on Sunday, and some of my students were kind of upset about the results. So with most of my classes, I ended by kind of saying, all right, you guys, I know some of you are upset about the results, but I want to show you this video, what it's really like behind the scenes of a football player's life. Because I just saw this and it's very eye-opening. And then I showed them the NFL bad lip reading video. I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen it yet, but it's really funny. Basically, it's this guy, if you haven't heard of bad lip reading, it's this guy watches the videos and then he removes the sound and then he puts in his own voiceover. So it looks like the people on the screen are saying what he's saying, but he says these crazy things. And then I just, especially with that last class, I finished and I just said, wow, that's shocking. Kind of like, Mr. Evans, that's so dumb. But they were quoting the video as they were leaving. They really got a kick out of it. And it always makes me smile when something that I enjoy, when I'm able to share something that I enjoy and they enjoy it as well. So I had a lot of positives today, some really tough negatives, but it's nothing I can't work out. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Monday, and I'm looking forward to seeing my students again on Monday so we can take the next steps. You have a great weekend. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you again on Monday. Bye-bye, YouTube.